All right, so I literally planned this to go live like in about half an hour from now, but I decided to just start it a little bit early. So, first off, everybody, welcome in. Glad to have you guys here. And rather than just making a video and just like talking about it and trying to, record the issue live, record the issue, I decided to go live and do it on a live. To basically talk about Android 16 QPR3 Beta 1 and the issue that it's affecting, with the Google Pixels. And it's not just isolated to the Pixel 10. I'm going to go out and say that this is pretty much an issue across different Pixel devices, just because both the Pixel 9a and the Pixel 10 that I have that has taken this software update has a major issue. So as you're coming in, feel free to say hello. Hit the like button and all that good stuff. And then, you know what, if you have AT&T Cricket Wireless or any AT&T MVNO besides US Mobile, let me know if this is affecting you, if your incoming calls is being taken away, like you're not able to do it, not able to receive it, not do it, but like not able to receive it. Do let me know in the comments. But anyways, glad, well, not really glad under these circumstances. We're glad to be live again with you guys again today, this Friday. So anyways, today's December 19th. It is 8:26 a.m. my time. And, I wanted to kind of talk about this. And I also wanted to look at the issue tracker with Android and see if anyone else is reporting anything. And also, I've, going to discuss several things that I've tried to see, if this would fix the issue and whatnot. So, as you're coming in, like I said, say hello. Let me know that you're here, and feel free to ask questions, and also feel free to give recommendations if there's something that maybe you think might help me. Post it in the chat, and I will try it out on the live and see if it fixes it. Literally, what's happening with this latest software beta release. So it's software beta. It's not, the stable release. I believe that this beta software is geared up for a stable release sometime in March of 2026. So yeah, FYI, I already submitted feedback to Google with the issue and whatnot, and the best I could to explain it. This is a very hard situation because with normal issues, bug issues that's found with software beta release, you can go to the feedback, you can pull a bug report and attach it to the ticket that you're submitting to them. So then that way they can look at the code, they can look at all these different things to see what may be causing the issue. And you have to do it when the bug issue is happening. So obviously, it's going to ask you questions like to be descriptive of exactly what's going on with the bug. It's going to ask you if you've noticed anything that, obviously creates the situation. So then that way it helps them to, identify quickly, right? Like, if you're having issues with the camera and you notice like, video recording freezes your camera app, right? So then obviously that would be like the step. It would ask like, how did you get to this point? And you would just type in like launching camera app and toggling to video, and then camera app freezes, right? Like, you got to give steps like that. But in this scenario, it's incoming calls that's not coming through on my Pixel phone. And so, just like much like how we had like the E911 bug, which anyone that was calling emergency dispatch wasn't able to get through, or like me, the call was trying to connect to some phantom hearing aid that was not ever around me. Like, I don't use a hearing aid. No one in my car was using a hearing aid, and yet we couldn't get through on like 5 different attempts to talk with dispatch. So, I mean, this is not a very good look when it comes to that. But then also too, like, people also need to calm down because this is beta software again. So if you're not on beta, you're totally fine. You don't really have to worry about this. You'll be good to go. Now, if you are on QPR3 Beta 1, then if you haven't been receiving any phone calls, this may pertain to you. However, this is not really widespread, where it's like, where it's like every carrier that's affected. I don't know what it is, if it's US Mobile specifically or if it's the AT&T network. Reason I say this is that this morning I went ahead and, my Pixel 9a has the issue, right? When I had US Mobile Darkstar on my Pixel 9a, and anyone that would call me, either they would just hear silence and then it would go straight to voicemail, and then, on my phone, it would pop up missed call. And so I was like, when that happened to me yesterday, just to kind of give you guys context what happened, I was like, okay, what? I'll switch my SIM back over to the Pixel 10. So contacted US Mobile because, I do a lot of phone switching. So I had already burned up my 6 monthly allowed device swaps. So you have to chat with their rep, and they have to do to generate the QR code and everything to download your eSIM. So contacted US Mobile and told them, that I wanted to switch over to my Pixel 10. Went through the whole process, installed the eSIM on my Pixel 10, and everything was working fine afterwards. Phone calls were coming through, so my phone would ring. My wife called me and the phone rang and everything, and then I answered it. I would make outbound calls, and outbound calls were just fine. They were totally good. So no issues there. And I was like, okay, it's probably isolated to the Pixel 9a, but like, me, I'm just like happy that the issue is resolved just by switching to a different device. So I was like, okay, you know what? We should be good. But then I was like, wait a minute. Like, I had my Pixel 10 off for the last couple of days, so maybe it didn't get the software update. So I went and I did a software check. Lo and behold, QPR3 Beta 1 is sitting there waiting to be installed. And so I was like telling myself, well, let's find out if this is isolated or not, because one of the things that, is a kind of like popular thing about the Pixel 10 and Android 16 QPR3 Beta 1 is it updates the GPU drivers. So I was like, okay, you know what? Like, that's a kind of a needed thing. I don't really do like any heavy gaming and stuff like that, so I'm not really too concerned about graphics to that extent. But I still took the update anyways. I was like, okay, let's find out. And so I took the software update, phone updated, and then so I was like, hey, we're cool. Now, I did a test call from my secondary device to my primary number, and the issue started happening. At least from my phone. So like when my wife calls, she says she hears silence on the call. And then all of a sudden the voicemail pops up and, does that generic, you have reached the voicemail box of, and then it says my phone number. On my end, when I try to call, and I'm not going to show you the phone number, per se. And it just has that little, a little red thing on the top that says couldn't make call or couldn't connect call. So every time I try, it's just like couldn't connect is what it says. So I was like, man, this problem is existent. This problem sucks. So, after several tests, I was like, I wanted to see if it was all incoming calls with this thing. So, to test this out, I went on, I downloaded the Verizon app because Verizon has a 30-day free trial. And so I downloaded the Verizon app and launched it, and then it had, start your free 30 days. And so, you go through that, it does the IMEI checker to see if you've ever been on the free trial program. And then, it goes through the whole eSIM setup process and everything. So got the eSIM installed from Verizon. So now I have 30 days or 100 gigs, whichever comes first, of Verizon service, and got a temporary phone number with them to try out Verizon network. So I was like, okay, cool. Got it, turned it on, wrote down my temporary number, did a test call, phone rings. Okay, so on Verizon, you get your inbound and your outbound calls on Verizon. I moved over the Metro SIM onto the Pixel 9a and did a test. I get my inbound and my outbound calls on Metro, which is T-Mobile. US Mobile Darkstar is the only one that's affected out of all my SIMs. Now, I can't say if it's AT&T as well, but I can say T-Mobile and Verizon based are not affected. So I chatted in with US Mobile yesterday. We went through the whole, troubleshooting process, and even going to extended troubleshooting and stuff like that. Turning on call screening, turning off call screening, turning on Wi-Fi calling, turning off Wi-Fi calling, and editing the APNs and doing everything that we could to exhaust everything that could possibly be the issue, including reinstalling the eSIM. Right, so they had to reprovision it too as well, and wiped my phone completely and just reinstalled everything without backup. So I didn't use any backup to install it. And just from that point, nothing was working. Nothing is working. And so I had to report an issue. So I went in and was going through the whole feedback, report an issue ticket, and then when it wants like a bug report, whether you did a bug report and you have it saved as a file or whatever, like it wants that attached, or you can actually have it run for the next 15 seconds to collect data. So right when I was about to hit to have it run a bug capture to get a file, as soon as I tapped that, I hit call on my other phone, and it said it couldn't create call, and then on my Pixel 10 it popped up missed call. So hopefully that had something in there, because I don't know if it's going to, because it's an inbound call. So this is like getting a call from somebody else to you that's not working, which sucks because it's right around the holidays, and so my family has that number, and so I can only imagine if they tried to call me to get a hold of me or whatnot. I mean, I'm assuming that they haven't, because I haven't gotten anything out, like from like social media, like Facebook Messenger or anything like that. Like none of my family members have reached me out there and say, hey, was your phone off or something? No one asked me. So I'm going to assume that no one's trying to contact me yet, but they're going to be contacting soon, because, Christmas is in basically 6 days. And so yeah, we know, very tough spot to be in right now. And I'm hoping that, Google can find out what the problem is fast. Obviously, it's isolated to what I'm going to assume is the AT&T. It could be furtherly isolated down if anyone that has AT&T service on a Pixel 10 that has Android 16 QPR3 Beta 1 is reporting that they're not getting their incoming calls. Now, if AT&T customers are getting it, then we can even furtherly narrow it down to like if Cricket customers can get it, if Tello customers can get it, like whoever's the AT&T MVNO, like Klarna Mobile and OnePay Mobile. If these guys are able to get their inbound calls, they can like then narrow it down to just US Mobile as an issue if it's not an AT&T widespread issue. But I'm hoping it's an AT&T widespread issue, only because then Google can work in tandem with AT&T to get this resolved, which would then trickle down to all the MVNOs that are connected to AT&T. If it's just a US Mobile, faith in in that company to be able to work with Google and get this thing resolved, a little less than AT&T's engineers to get this thing repaired. It's it sucks, it really does. So I'm on the issue tracker page here. I'll put this in the chat, and if anyone wants to follow it and see like what's going on, there you have it. It is definitely such a crazy thing that's happening. But it says right here, you can let's see, these are, I don't think anyone's reported an issue just yet. At least I don't think so. I don't know. Maybe there's a couple of that's been reported, but nothing. Yeah. So, anyways, let's see, reported issues. So, yeah, there's nothing on the release notes that show anything. Let me click on this here and just kind of see what it loads up. Okay, here we go. Android 16 preview, top open issues. So, top open issue, bug, scrolling stutters. But that's not anything. That's not anything pertaining to this. At least I wouldn't think. Oh, here we go. Here's this one. The resulting video does not match what I see in the viewfinder while recording. So this is reported on December 15th. So I don't know if this is, QPR3 Beta 1. Let's see. Car Bluetooth media audio does not automatically connect to car. That was on December 17th. So let's okay, here are the latest ones. There, got it pretty much organized to that. All right, let's see. Reduction in battery capacity overnight. This brings up a camera. The resulting video does not match what I see in the viewfinder, so we just saw that one. Workday app says connection not trusted, so that has to be with like the Workday app for somebody. Issue with swipe back gesture. So I haven't experienced that. I don't have an issue with swipe back. Remote views adapter conversion causes crash in app using let's see, okay. Real cricket swipe. My game is not open. Auto back problem. So that's a problem that's been reporting. Bluetooth audio not working in Lexus. And that's another problem. Car Bluetooth media audio does not sync. Okay, so there's like two of a similar type. Let's see, car Bluetooth media. Okay, that's that one. Camera. The camera crashes when zooming or switching to 5 times zoom. AI Life, Huawei app not responding. And then app crashes after entering link request. Why isn't my ticket there? I would think my ticket would be there. Someone, but that's from December 13th. Yeah, so anyhow, strange enough, I'm probably gonna submit another ticket because I want to see my ticket on here with top open issues. Need to get it there because yeah, this is just crazy. I need it fixed ASAP. So they need to get their bug people on it. Anyways, yeah, so there's a Pixel 10. Let me see if any of those issues happen. Now I'm curious about the whole bug issue with like the camera and whatnot. So I'm actually gonna like tap into like 5 times zoom and go further. And nope, my camera is not, it's not doing what the other person's issues is. I don't know. At least in my Pixel 10, it's not. Now, here's the crazy part. So, you guys can see that like I literally was like, I literally was testing a bunch of times. That's why there's like all these missed calls. So I'll swipe those away, and we're gonna try it again. So I'm gonna try to call it. Couldn't connect, and then it should pop up here. Yep, it popped up here. Missed call. All right, so we'll do another one. And now 2 missed calls. That is crazy. Absolutely crazy. Now, let me see. Let's try this. That's the Verizon SIM. So Verizon has incoming calls. US Mobile Darkstar doesn't. So I'll try US Mobile again. Let's try this again. See what happens. Couldn't connect. This is such a pain in the butt. Let me download Google Voice, and then I'm gonna try for my Google Voice. And let's see if it goes through. All right, so we're downloading the app right now on Google Voice, and then we're gonna see what happens. We'll see what happens. This totally it's not cool. Not cool, man. Not cool. Okay, so yeah, logging in and skip linking stuff and allow, turn on, allow. Give access to microphone when using the app, allow. Give access to Bluetooth when needed. So I gotta just, set it up here. Okay. All right. And so now making the call. What in the world? Okay. Oh, that's why I'm such a dork. Okay. I actually called my secondary phone. That's why I was ringing. Like, what? I thought my friend who's a mechanic was calling me. It just like popped up. So weird. It wasn't, and it was just like a glitch. But I was calling this this phone that I'm using. So I'm trying not to say my number out loud as I'm typing it. I have a bad habit of doing that. Okay, let's try it now. Let's see, does it go through? So it's like in limbo. It's like doing like what my wife's phone was doing. So you don't hear nothing on this. It says it's calling. You hear nothing. I'd show you guys the screen, but then it's going to show my number.
The person you dialed.
And it went straight to voicemail. So it's funny calling from my Metro by T-Mobile line, and it just says couldn't connect call. Calling from Google Voice to it, and it just has this long silence before the voicemail greeting pops on. That's like weird. Super weird. Super weird. Okay, so yeah, that's just like what the fudge. And it says missed call from my Google Voice number. Okay, I'm gonna try something else here. So what I'm actually gonna do, I'm gonna do this one final time. So this is gonna suck because this is gonna take a while, but I just want to make sure I've exhausted all options. All options. All right, so we're gonna factory wipe it again one more time. And let's see what happens now. And this is gonna be the crazy part. I'm gonna have to reinstall everything again and whatnot, so Now, if this works, then I would basically tell people like wipe the phone twice if this works. but we shall see. So there we go. Google logo, it's up. So that's promising. That's promising, and we'll have to go from there. Oh, you guys ever get it? Like when you have like a crick in your neck and you're trying to pop your neck every now and then, and it's just not helping. That's what I'm going through right now. Anyways, Android beta program, it's on top. So bonjour. Yeah. We'll skip that because I'm not going to set it up from anything else. Connect to my Wi-Fi real quick. That's something I don't want anyone to see the password for. All right, so now we're connecting to Wi-Fi. Let me just put this up. Maybe that'll make it easier to some sort of degree. Kind of watch it go through its setup process. It'd be so cool if this actually worked. eSIM available next. Yes, of course. Of course. There's multiple eSIM availables. Okay, continue. Who you're setting up this phone for? Myself. Gotta love all these little questionnaires you get when you're just setting up your device. You know what's funny is that when I get to the home screen, the one thing that pisses me off is that once you get to the home screen after you log into everything, it wants you to go through that same setup process again. It's like, why? I just did it. And if I said skip this, if I said I don't want this, then I should be able to access those things from settings. So, like, yeah. Why do I have to see them all again? All right, signing into one of my Google accounts. Okay, hit next. Obviously, it's going to want me to verify my Google account. There we go. Yeah, it's me. There you go. Agree. Agree. Checking network info, all that other good stuff. Agree. Call from there. SMS preference from there. Now we're gonna skip for now. Nope, we're not gonna be installing anything. We're not gonna do any backup installs. Just gonna do a clean installation. Yeah, I want to turn up backup for those. And yeah, I know about the warranty, and I accept that. And next. Turn on. Next. Okay, yeah, that's fine. And with all these other ones, maybe later on those. And we'll skip for now. And now it says I'm ready to roll. Swipe up. And we're in. We're in like Flynn. And so I'm going to do a test call from this phone to my other phone. So let me do that real quick. I don't want to show numbers here. All right, making phone call. All right. Outbound call is working, so let's put that right there. Now, time to test this. Please work. That's all I'm going to say is please work. Calling. Nope. Still failed. Calling still failed. Yep. Calling still failed. It's not working. So I've just about exhausted everything that I could to try to get this rectified. Wiped the phone twice, went through APN settings a bunch of times with US Mobile's troubleshooting team. I've done it all. So now it's in the hands of Google. I got to resubmit this ticket because I don't find it up on here on the issue tracker. So I'm going to try to get it up there. If you guys want to find that ticket so you guys can upvote it, I'm just going to title it connection. I'll just put AT&T / US Mobile Darkstar incoming call issue. I'll title it that. You guys find it, upvote it. So that way Google can be aware of it and get to working on that bug. I don't even know why like I put it on that for a second. I just want to make sure that there was nothing being shown there, so my bad. Anyways, yeah, you know, oh, man, that totally sucks. So yeah, if you guys find that ticket, please upvote it, so in that way anyone else that's facing the same issue can actually, you know, be able to get some help on it. Let's see. Okay. So while I'm checking the poll here, the person who did answer, if you're still here on the live stream watching, you said no, that Android 16 QPR3 Beta 1 hasn't broken any incoming calls for you. So could you post in the chat who your carrier is and what phone you're using? I'm just trying to get as much info as possible, so that way into the description for the ticket I'm going to resubmit to try to get it upvoted, so that way Google can see the ticket, find it, and get to working on it. You know, I want to get this issue resolved. The best thing that I can do at this point literally is to take the Pixel 10 out of beta, which, you know, should be totally fine for me, just because having the GPU drivers updated on the Pixel 10 is not a big issue at all whatsoever. So that'll probably be my next step here. You know, just because I really don't, you know, like want to have like major issues or whatnot. I'll probably keep the Pixel 9a on beta and just keep my Pixel 10 off, since that's like my main, like, you know, daily driver device. I don't know. We'll see what happens. We'll see what I do. But yeah, this is not good. You know, but at least well, let's try this. I want to try the Verizon number and see if that goes through. Okay, let's call. Let's see if that goes through. Yep, that goes through. So anyways, yeah, I don't know if it's just like AT&T isolated or isolated directly to US Mobile, but hopefully they get that fixed soon. So I'm going to get that bug pretty much submitted for them to fix. And I'll probably comment back on this live stream the ticket number or the ID number for it. That way you guys can find it. If you guys want to go and upvote it and get eyes on this ticket, that would be so totally cool. If you have any of the Pixels and you have a different bug issue, please comment it. If you're, you know, watching replay, please comment what the bug issue is, what you're experiencing. Is it isolated to just a particular Pixel? Do you have multiple Pixel phones that are on the beta? And if they are all of them experiencing the same issue? If it's just like one particular model, like, please do that. I would love to know what other people are facing out there. Usually when I get these beta updates, I usually don't get issues. There's like, so, you know, just goes to show that, you know, everybody's luck eventually runs out, right? And the sun can shine on a dog's ass once in a blue moon. So this is the first time for me where I've taken beta software update that's actually impacted me in a major way. And yeah, so I'll do an update video down the road to just kind of let you guys know like exactly what goes on in this process of when a bug is reported and then when Google works on it. And I'll let you guys know what I go, what goes through that whole entire process and everything like that. But you know what? At the end of the day, I mean, it's beta software, so it's not something that I would say, makes Android bad or makes Google Pixels bad. Like, not at all. It is, for the most part, what it is it's a bug issue, and that's what these beta software programs are for people like myself to report back any issues that they're finding, and then that way they can get these bug issues resolved fast enough so that way they can have their quarterly pixel drops that would bring in these new features that are intended to roll out quarterly. So yeah, for those people that's just like, this is why I don't like Pixel, this is why I don't like Android, this is not even a scale to judge Android on. This is beta software. The same as like, with iOS beta and how there's always, bug issues and crap going on with that. Because, it's beta. You can't really judge iOS based on it. And that's just all I'm just going to end it out with. So I appreciate you guys. Thanks so much for checking out this quick live. You guys have a great weekend, and I'll see you guys in the next one.